The superstars of Fan Control Football Season 2.0 are not only the who's who of celebrity team owners and influencers, not the 21 million live views of our Emmy-nominated broadcast. Across Twitch, DAZN, Fubo, NBCLX, Peacock. Or our highlights that scored over 100 million views. And we can't forget best-in-class sponsors. But the biggest star of Season 2 is our play-calling app that allow fans to control the action on the field. Fans pick a team, pick a play, 4 run plays, 4 pass plays to choose from. The play with the most votes is called in real time.
We got it.
This is where video games and live action come to life. And now, Fan Control Sports and Entertainment brings you Fan Controlled Hoops, where fans call the shots. Coming 2023, the future of sports is here, and it's Fan Control. Power to the fans.
Are you ready for it?
This is FCTV, fan-controlled television. Programs created and produced for the fans, by the fans of fan-controlled sports and entertainment. As always, power to the fans. And now, it's time for the show.
Don't cause a ruckus. We talking that talk, it's spitting them facts. We setting them traps and cracking them backs. Yeah. We got all the news, we know all the stories. Yeah. We start from the bottom, rise up to the glory. Yeah. We say what your local reporters can't say. Yeah. We break down the X's and O's on the play. It's AJ, King, Con, and Jose. Ruckus. We call it right on the first take and they love us. Yeah, we the best when it comes to sports debate. Find the podcast and let it play. If we get you in your feelings, that's okay. AJ and Jose send you on your way like, bruh, don't cause a ruckus. We just call it how we see it, big bro. And that we will always.
All right, what's up, internet? Welcome to Don't Cause a Ruckus, the show that tries to take itself not too seriously. I'm your host, AJ Khah, and this week I have my good friend and personal stat confidant, Kyle Stathead Sheridan. What's up, Kyle?
I'm still just thinking about that intro. Been a minute and I'm like, oh, it still smacks. It gets you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
the true
that.
Ruckus is that Jose's not here and I'm the new Jose. That's the ruckus.
You trying to take his place.
Listen, I could do it. I can argue. I already argue with you about a lot.
That's true. Yes, we don't see eye to eye on many things, like your love for all the random teams and my love for the Board Ape Football Club.
Well, I think a lot of the teams just need love. Like, why can't I love all the teams? Why can't I just have 8 accounts and just, vote for everybody? I'll vote against myself.
I mean,
but I'll genuinely try to help win. And I think that's the power of friendship.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. Well, if you didn't know, Don't Cause a Ruckus goes live on Fan Control Sports streaming channels at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Like a bunch of people in the chat are, you can join us and chat alongside. We are also available as a podcast or a YouTube video the next day. And you can get our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Fan Controlled Sports and click Don't Cause a Ruckus. Now, we got kind of a big show. It's going to be somewhat of a repeat of last week on certain topics just because, well, it's the NBA playoffs and you can't really talk about much more than the NBA playoffs when that happens. And we got Kyle here, so we got to ask his views on that. But before we get into that, he's obviously wearing a Patriots jersey. We got to talk about football first. So let's start it off. Kyle, who do you think is the winners and losers of the NFL draft this past 2 weeks ago?
I think we won.
Those 2 weeks.
I think me and you, we won this draft. I think our teams crushed it. I called Bijan Robinson in the first to Atlanta.
We both did.
You got some of the guys I was looking at: Clark Phillips, Zach Harrison, Matt Bergeron. I mean, we got the steal. We got multiple steals, and I also just love the fact that we didn't trade we got more picks. We picked everything. We're just all the guards, all the linemen, get we didn't get Zay Flowers, and I was a little sad, but we got Christian Gonzalez, and his nickname's Gonzo. So we drafted a Muppet, and I'm here for that. He's the best Muppet.
I mean,
Also, I don't know if you remember watching the draft, if you even did, but when we drafted Keon White, it was just a hard cut to him like this.
yeah, he didn't seem happy.
No, that's a Belichick player if I've ever seen him. He's already got Belichick's smile. He's ready.
A smile, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Losers. Golly, I don't agree with a lot of what Green Bay did. Personally, I think 2 tight ends, and I love Lucas Van Ness. I think he's great, but you also lost a major asset in Aaron Rodgers, and I would have tried to, like, I don't know, get some help. And at that one, they could have gotten I think they could have gotten a better tight end than the 2 they drafted. They got 2 really good tight ends, but I think they could have gotten better. And I think, I don't know, they have this weird tradition of just not. Also, Washington, absolutely. I don't know what they're doing. Washington they're my favorite drafters because they always draft people that I don't want right before my team, but it's the same position that I want. They did that for like multiple picks.
Okay, now I kind of want to get your opinion on this. What do you think of the QB changeups and the not QB changeups? We saw Kirk Cousins is staying with the Vikings, but they ended up getting Trey Lance, or were trying to at some point. We also have Jimmy Garoppolo going to the Raiders, Ryan Tannehill to the Titans, and Geno Smith staying at the Seahawks. What do you think about those 4?
Derek Carr is an upgrade over Jimmy G any day. You give me Derek Carr before you ever give me Jimmy G. I say that knowing that Jimmy G went to a Super Bowl by himself. Very happy for him. Still give me Derek Carr. I see more upside. God, Geno Smith's gonna. I really wanted Seattle to get Hendon Hooker in a later round, or just a quarterback, because I don't feel like Geno Smith's like. I think he'll be fine next year. He's got to be with the talent around him. I don't see him not being good. It felt like, maybe go for a guy that's younger and mold something. But maybe they get Jordan Ta'amu. What were the other 2 you said? Oh yeah, Minnesota. If Minnesota gets Trey Lance, that'd be interesting. I think it would make for a more fun offense than whatever Kirk Cousins does.
Well, they were trying. The rumor was they were trying to get Trey Lance. Trey Lance stayed a 49er, but they got their guy in Cousins still. So it was just more like, did you? What do you thought about them attempting to go after Trey Lance? And then also, I want to talk to you mostly about this one because I feel like we're on the same page.
Yeah,
the Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think it would be the funniest thing in the world if they went like 6 wins for the season. Because if Tua's healthy, the Dolphins are monsters. The Bills are monsters. We have a offensive coordinator now that actually knows how to call offensive plays. So we have a lot of potential. It's the Jets. We beat them with a kickoff return, a punt return in the last couple of seconds. We'll beat the Jets. It's fine.
I'm loving what Daddy Dennis is saying in the chat. Elder abuse isn't coming at NYC. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The best thing that's going to come out of Aaron Rodgers being there, and this is me being optimistic for a player, not for the Jets. I'm never optimistic for the Jets. Is that maybe Zach Wilson will learn some things and grow to be a fine quarterback somewhere else.
Here's hoping,
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
They're not. I don't usually make bold predictions, but the Jets aren't winning the Super Bowl.
I don't think that's a bold prediction, but hey, if some people may
I
say
don't.
that,
Sometimes you don't want to put that stuff out there because you could be horribly wrong. But the Jets aren't winning. Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Vikings, and Aaron Rodgers is going to almost go to the Super Bowl. And history is repeating itself, folks. We're going to follow it to a T. All right, just you watch. Watch.
There's some Porto hearts breaking out there somewhere, just from what you said.
I'm sorry. Is the Jet fan surprised that the Patriot fan dunked on the Jets?
Moving on.
Oh
no. So we said we were going to talk about it. Let's get into it. It's everywhere. It's everything that sports is right now. It's everything that anybody's talking about. As much as we want to talk about football, we got to talk basketball. The NBA playoffs are going on right now. And to transition, the Jets potentially are going to have the same season the Knicks are having right now. They made it to the playoffs, and they're petering out. Kyle, what are your thoughts on the Miami-New York series right now?
My first thought anytime I look at the Heat right now is I miss Jimmy Butler. I like my number 2 team will always be the 76ers because that's when I started really getting into basketball when I was living near Philly. But I gotta stay true to Boston. I don't know why. It's like a weird cult thing. It's like once you're in, you can't leave. But golly, does Jimmy Butler go? Like when he's hot, he's red hot. I'm not surprised at the Knicks. I knew it was coming. I was so happy for him in the first round. It was like, whoa. I was in Jersey and I saw hope and like joy.
I saw hope
in a Knicks face, and I was like, oh. And then I got here and I'm like, you're done.
You're done.
This is it. You're getting cooked. I'm sorry, but you know what? Hold on to that.
You're not wrong.
That's what being a New York fan is. Except with the Yankees, but not anymore because y'all had it too good for too long. That's just the way it be.
So you're not wrong, and I agree with you on that. I do think that Miami's going to take it. I said this last time we were on the show. Tom Thibodeau is going to do what Tom Thibodeau does. I watched him do it for so many years in the Bulls here in Chicago. He builds a good team in the season that falls apart in the offseason because he doesn't have like a star. There's no star on that New York team to take over when everyone else can't against these bigger teams. Jimmy Butler is showing that he's that man. Yep. He is that man for Miami, and he is that guy. I love to see it. Not only that, it's kind of what you expect for the Knicks. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And
I just came back from New York. I went to visit my sister, went to Washington to get my citizenship, dual citizen now. Thank you. But you couldn't tell that New York was in the NBA playoffs at all. Like normally there's like New York, posters everywhere, people talking about it. In the Cavs, there's commercials about, the Knicks going to the playoffs. I did not know that the Knicks were in the playoffs. If you told me they were in the playoffs, you couldn't tell in the middle of New York when normally everyone would be wearing Knicks gear, going nuts. I think they themselves, the New Yorkers, know that it's done.
Yeah,
it's done. The air is lifted. The air is taken out from under their wings. But let's move on to the Philadelphia-Boston series because personally, I'm loving this series. I'm sure you've been paying attention to it. So what are your thoughts on it?
Embiid's popping. Embiid, everything's good. It's tough because I'm loving the Celtics team and I want JT to bring it home, but when they I feel like there was a bit of like a struggle for like Philly to like get it all together because I was hesitant about Harden going there because he's bouncing around teams. I'm like, but they're clicking. They are clicking and clacking and
clicking and clacking.
They're clickety clacking. But this is what like this. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna draw comparisons to football because that's what I know best. But it's like the Chiefs Bills game. That big
Okay.
game in the playoffs. That's like that should have been like this is going hard, and I think it's going to 7 because I think we're gonna take the next one, and then I'm gonna be I think we're gonna win in 7, but it's gonna go to 7.
Yeah, I feel like this series, there's no way it doesn't go to 7. I mean, Tobias Harris has been to me, I think he's been the quiet assassin this series. He's doing everything that needs to be done and getting none of the attention for it. But James Harden, to me, the funniest thing about James Harden is he has been horrible throughout this entire series, except for that one game. I think it was the last game that he put up, like 40 some points. It was nuts. I was so surprised by it. Which one was it? Let me see. James Harden putting up. Yeah. This is he put up. Wait, for this one, he made 4 field goal made. He only made 8 points, I think. Where is it? Defensive rebound block. Yeah, 8 points. That was a terrible game. It's just like it's nuts to me that he can turn it on like he does. But he's so streaky. It's crazy to me. I don't think he's been playing well. I think he's going to hinder the 76ers in the next round. I think that is the break in their armor. There's always a weak point in every armor. And I think for the 76ers, I sincerely think it's James Harden. He needs to step his game up. Especially against a team like Boston. I think Boston's going to take it. I do agree to you that it's going to be a 7-game series. I think Boston's going to take this next series and then take it all this next game and then take the series purely because they just have too many weapons. They are a very good team. They got there last year. I think they're hungry to win it again and continue on and show that they are the next big dynasty in the Eastern Conference, and they're the team to be feared, especially after the Bucks were exposed this year. I think it's going to be Boston, Miami. I genuinely think, though, I think that's where it ends for Boston. I think Jimmy Butler is going to, this is a bold prediction, but I have a feeling it's going to be a copy of the Mickey Mouse bubble playoffs. It's going to be the Lakers Heat again. And I'm hoping that Jimmy Butler can overcome it, but I don't think he will. I think it's going to be the same outcome. It's going to be the Lakers winning it again. I think LeBron is going to potentially cement his name as the greatest of all time. I don't think this cements his name as the greatest of all time. I think this puts him in a very more critical, a more arguable position for GOAT than he currently is. But it'll be pretty impressive if he can take this Lakers team, especially because they're the first team to leave the play-in bracket and move on to the next round and move on to the second round. They're just making history. And if they're the first team to break out of the playoff bracket, play-in bracket and win it all, I think that'd be amazing. But yeah, let's move on from the Eastern Conference, continue talking about the Western Conference. Let's talk about the Lakers Golden State series right now. I clearly am talking about it. The Lakers are leading the series 3-1. I think LeBron is being pretty dominant, but I am going to say this. It's the Golden State Warriors. They're the first team to ever come back from a 3-1 deficit, like a 3-0 deficit too, and win it all. If any team can do it, it is Golden State. But I think the Lakers are going to win it. Stathead, thoughts?
I think it'd be beautiful if Golden State wins it. And I think you're right. They can do it. I think they will do it. I think it would poetic. Like I don't hate LeBron, but if Golden State in the second round comes back from this big of a deficit against LeBron, that's poetic to me.
They've done it before.
Yeah.
Not only that, this Lakers team was at the beginning of the season a joke of a team. Everybody made fun of them. They were, me and Jose were talking about how unimpressive they were, how really shocking it was that they were this bad. So yeah, I continue on.
No, I just think I think this is the game like where we really see Steph Curry cement his name up there. I think this is the series. I think he's got to win this series, and then everyone's got to be like, okay, well, let's talk about Steph though. And I think it's going to be Golden State, and I think it's going to be Golden State Phoenix.
Okay. So, all right. You want to go to? Let's go to the next series then. Denver Phoenix. This is a close series. It's 3-2. Phoenix down 1 game. I think the next game is supposed to be Denver. Next game is in Phoenix. So, thoughts?
Phoenix is going to go to 7. Phoenix and
7.
Phoenix and
7.
Phoenix and 7. We're going to get I think with the addition of KD, you have CP as well. And now you got your young hot stud in Devin Booker. And Devin Booker, this is when he blossoms truly, because he's got these two guys that just are great. And I think he's got to be that factor that puts him over the top. And I think he will. I think KD being there is fantastic because CP could get hurt and has gotten hurt before. But I think KD being there really helps keep things a bit more balanced.
Okay. Fair. I don't know, man. Like, as much as you say that, Phoenix, they have 3 superstars: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. You can't argue with that. But look at how Denver is playing. I think the difference between Denver and New York is they have a similar build in that the team is not fully focused around one person. The difference is Denver has a superstar. Not only that, I think they have arguably multiple superstars that are just overshadowed by how dominant Jokic is. They have Aaron Gordon, great player, put up 10 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds for a forward. Great. But Michael Porter Jr. has been quiet. He hasn't had a great season. But the last game, he put up 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Jokic, 29 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists. The man is almost averaging in like a triple-double in the playoffs, man. He is nuts. You have a great guard that put up 19 points in Jamal Murray. Like, those 4 guys alone, to me, have the potential to be 4 superstars. I think I think Denver's going to take it. I genuinely believe that it's going to be Denver Lakers. And it's going to be a hot take. I think Denver goes on. I think we're going to see a Celtics Denver finals.
I like the aspect of a Denver Phoenix finals. I mean, not Denver Phoenix, Boston Phoenix, Celtics Phoenix. I like the Celtics and the Suns. Celtics winning, of course.
Celtics Nuggets, Celtics Nuggets, man.
Although if the Celtics lose, I want the Suns to win. If the Celtics lose to Philly, Suns are gonna win.
Is that's your backup team in the playoffs right now?
That's my. I want CP to get one. Come on now.
You're not wrong. I do want Chris. I think Chris Paul deserves one. I don't really have a backup team anymore. Like, once the Hawks are gone, it's all downhill for me. I just watch for this. I watched a comment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough of traditional sports. Let's go to the bread and butter. What I want to talk about today, and I'm sure Peanut is here for exclusively. We got 2 wrestling topics to go over. We're going to talk about Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. This is a huge fight, battle, rivalry. I don't want to call it a rivalry that's going on right now. You said you wanted to talk about it. I'm going to give you the floor. Go ahead.
I think it better end soon. I think whatever these shenanigans are going on, I think they need to stop. I don't even know why Cody Rhodes was in the triple threat for the world heavyweight. I don't even know why he was there. The whole thing. If you're gonna have him lose at WrestleMania, and you want him to fight Brock Lesnar, which does prove he can beat Brock Lesnar, who has beat Roman Reigns, then you gotta have him go back on Roman Reigns. He's proven it. Why has he gotta keep doing this? It's like you had us. You had us with Sammy. You had us with KO. You had us with everything, and then you wanted to carry it over a year. All right, cool, but make it rad, and they're not doing that. They are. I don't like it. It's going on. It's 3 matches too long. Like it's too many. It's gone on too long.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I don't want to beat this into the ground. I think I've made my point pretty clear on how I feel about the whole Cody Rhodes losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania thing. But I do think you're right. Like, I'm past the point of being upset about it. I think they had the ultimate opportunity, I've said this before, to hand the title over to someone new and make it feel not forced, make it feel genuinely like a good flow in a storyline. And they wasted the opportunity because they thought that this rivalry can stand the test of time of a year. And what they don't understand is the difference between when belts and you know, there's news that they want belt title reigns to last longer like they did back in the day. And the difference between now and then is that we had more local, you know, labels of wrestling, and you would see they would tour. You didn't have weekly shows. So when you saw Hulk Hogan, you saw him one time every like 3 months, and that's if you were a hardcore fan. So that's like 3 shows a year you see him. You want him to be a heavyweight champion every time. We're seeing these guys twice a week. Their shows are twice a week. They need to change these champions quicker. And Roman Reigns has had it for far too long. Almost 3 years. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, it's not too long. There have been longer champions, but like I said, it was a different time. Cody was the perfect person. Now, if you want to extend that rivalry, you can. I applaud you for it, but do it better. Have Cody go, like, flip a switch. Like, have him literally annoy the crap out of Roman. Have him get out there every day calling Roman out, telling him he's a coward, you know, antagonizing him until he comes out and fights him. This whole, you know, bait and switch with Brock Lesnar, I don't like it. I think it's a push. I think it's kind of dumb.
It's a tease.
It's a tease. And in, like, in the real world, let's be real. Like, the reason why they use Brock as much as they do in Bobby Lashley, it's because they're the big guys. WWE is known for always having the big guys fight and win championships. The good thing about AEW is you get a mix of it, and they show the little guys. The difference between this World Heavyweight Championship match of, like, all the contenders going on, I think the median age is like, or the youngest person in it is 36.
Yeah.
And that's the main event. The main event for Double or Nothing, the next AEW match, is median age is 28, and they are all AEW homegrown talent. It is the 4 Pillars match. I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be great. I think they've done a good job of boosting it, making it more drama-filled, trying to take it away from being a 4-person match to a 2-person match that was just going to be an easy squash match, to now it's 4 people all out in the 4 Pillars again. I think it's great. They're telling the storyline beautifully. I think MJF is going to retain it because he's that funny and entertaining. But yeah. I love Jim.
Self-grooming is important. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, you were popping off. I had nothing to add to that. We were popping off. I was letting you cook. I see no problem. No.
I'm sorry. Jim is the best. Our backstage chat is hilarious right now.
Mm.
I'm dying right now. Okay. So let's continue on. We already started talking about AEW. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
There's a huge piece of news that just came out today. It's leaked. There's a big that probably has been announced live on AEW as we speak. AEW has reached terms with Warner Brothers, a whopping rumored supposed deal of $1 billion to put AEW on HBO streaming services and all their future pay-per-view on HBO. I am so excited about this. Why? Because I loved the fact that I never had to pay for a WWE pay-per-view. I think it's great. I want this because I don't want to pay for an AEW pay-per-view. I paid too much for AEW pay-per-view. I'd rather just be able to watch on HBO Max for free. Kyle, thoughts?
I mean, if I can get, I would just spend most of my time catching up. I think this is great. I say that actively knowing that I have feelings about media corporations because of the writer's strike going on right now. But in terms of this isolated thing alone, I think it's great because now I didn't like paying for the WWE network. I'm gonna be real. Like, if it's just already combined in another thing where I can watch other things,
Yeah,
like, give me that.
Yeah, all day. Well, I think the writer's strike actually helped this situation progress. I do not think wrestling writers are a part of the writers union that are currently on strike. So this allows Warner Brothers to have a piece of entertainment that isn't going against the strike, but allows them to have new material each week. So I think it makes sense. Let's keep it going, man. We got some other things we want to talk about. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Did you watch it? Have you seen it?
I've not.
All right, then I'm gonna keep it moving. Thoughts on what? If you don't know about it, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna wait for
no,
Jose,
that's fair. I
just watched it, you know?
Yeah, listen, I didn't know that was on the I didn't know that was on the test.
Well, so I feel I kind of want to do something like where we bring up some, like, especially when we have guests here, just bring up a bunch of topics, and if they don't want to talk about it, we just keep moving. We got more topics. Let's keep going.
Okay.
So, this one about. The Flash movie is coming out. Ezra Miller is the main character. They have been somewhat controversial. Are you excited about this movie? Because I sure am. We got old school Michael Keaton Batman coming back. We got a new Supergirl coming back. I feel like this is the transition for the DC universe to start moving away from what it was to what James Gunn wants it to be. Thoughts, man?
I excited is not the word I would use. I would use intrigued by it. It is it's gross to watch Ezra Miller exist, but I think that's why they got Michael Keaton, because they were like, we need a strong pull. And I think Michael Keaton will pull, and you'll introduce some new fun characters, and it is going to be the transition to the James Gunniverse. But holy smokes, I don't even, like, controversy aside, I just don't like him. I don't like his character of the Flash. To me, to this day, it does not make sense why they didn't use the CW's Flash.
But they had a nice moment,
Yeah, and they always will. that little spark. They'll always have that.
We'll always have that,
We as fans
Justice League. Have that. Yeah, we'll always have it.
They'll never be able to top the animated series. I that's my bold prediction. I don't think anything DC can do will ever be better than their animated series.
I mean, never say never, man. James Gunn, he's been doing a good job.
I love James Gunn, but like, their animated series are top quality.
They are. But now he has access to those writers, and he said all the animated movies will coincide with all the actual video games and live action movies. So everything will be in a similar universe. So the characters you see from movies may transition into animation. You may see people from the animated
Okay.
movies go into live action. Good example, Rick Flag Sr. has just been cast for Creature Commandos. That's an animated movie. But the person who's voicing him will also be acting and playing him in the live action version as Rick
Ooh.
Flag Sr.
Oh,
So if you remember Crossbones from the Marvel series, it's the same guy. So kudos to Jam Gunn. I'm excited to see how this universe works. I'm excited to see that transition from
would
character.
with how like wacky wild comics can get, I would love
Yeah.
honestly for both Marvel and DC. Like DC Marvel already started doing this, and I want to see DC do it where I want same character, different actor, different storyline. Like I love Into the Spider-Verse is an amazing opportunity in my mind. You
Yeah.
could do so much with that, so many different Spider-Mans, but the concept of that alone, it opens it up these characters to be told in different ways, like when they did Samurai Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
So
give me
James
more
Gunn
of
has
that.
talked about that. It's actually pretty exciting what he said regarding that. He's basically the Batman and Joker, like the Jared Leto joke, not Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix Joker and the Robert Pattinson Batman will have their own universes similar to Into the Spider-Verse. So they will be their own characters with their own universe that exists alongside the main like Batman and that
Good.
one.
I
So
like
you
that.
will see stuff like that. Like you're not gonna see like in Joaquin Phoenix's one. I don't know if you'll see a joke like a Batman, but there may not be a Batman in his universe, but there will be a Batman in the DC lore, So and of
Yeah.
course there's the Batman, which is Pattinson's, and he may not even have a Joker in his. So it's like, you got some swirliness going on.
Got a little
Got a little swirl. All right.
There's a toilet
We got two
comparison
more
there.
topics. I sent you a tweet. Did you look at it? Did you watch it?
I did look at it. Let me pull it back up.
Okay, so to help you guys out, to give you guys a little context, we try our best to bring in subjects, especially things that like I'm very familiar with, especially alongside the fact that I was a musician. So there's a piece of news that hit my Twitter feed this week that I kind of want to give a little talk about, and I want to get Kyle's opinion on. So there's this hardcore band called Lamb Goat. Basically, they went to a venue called the Ridgelia Theater. It was in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and they were going on in their show, performing, and the security were not handling crowd surfers like they should. In a typical fashion, the security at the front of the venue, in front of the band, will sit in front of the mosh pit, general admission, and there'll be a gated guard in front of them. So there's like a little alleyway for photographers to have space to take photography. And if anything happens with like the singer, they have space in between the fans so that security can get to them. It's also there. So if you have crowd surfers, you can pick them up, put them down, and they give them a safe space to like a little alleyway to get out and go to the back of the venue again. The security at the Ridgelia started throwing the kids back into the crowd instead of placing them down and letting them run to the back. So instead of properly, handling them safely, they just start tossing them. And it gets to a point where the lead singer gets mad and he's like, let's mess this up. Let's mosh. And the security guard in front takes the mic from him and says, good luck, and continues to hurt the clients and customers that came for the show. Obviously, the owners of the club came out and bashed the production company that put the show on and said that they will no longer put up with hardcore shows at their venue, blaming hardcore musicians as ones that cause quote unquote riots and moshing, which isn't the proper way to listen. They went on to bash hardcore fans. saying that they're the ones that do this stuff and can't properly listen to fan like music in a constructive way. I gotta complain about this. This is complete BS. Look, I was a pop punk musician. I say I was a punk, but I was the pop punk. I was like, if you like My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and Yellow Card, that was the type of music I made. Kids would go nuts. I saw so many mosh pits. And there's a difference between taking the responsibility of being a proper venue owner and training your staff in the proper way to handle kids and being a terrible person. And that's what these people chose to do. They have a history of screwing people over for profit. They put, these owners have had run-ins with the law before where they sold spice under a different name. Yeah, it got sketchy. And the previous owner of the Ridgelea were way more understanding. They went on to get messier and messier and blame the production company, saying they told the production company to tell the bands no moshing, nothing. They also said that they put up their rules, which were on white pieces of paper in Sharpie that said no moshing, and they just taped them places. So those were good enough. So Kyle, what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm mad. I think this is BS. The fact that they're banning hardcore bands as a whole from there, I think what they need to do is find new owners, and any band that is worth its weight in salt needs to avoid this venue at all costs.
I wanna take it to because it is stupid. And I just wanna dunk on them a little because where what's fascinating to me about hardcore, because before the story I didn't know hardcore. I wasn't fully, and I get it. I understand it. Is it for me? No, because I'm a fragile little pasty cuticle Carl. So
Carl.
I should not be in the pit. I shouldn't be. But do I understand the that feeling of just pure, you want to jump around, you want to hit something because of the music? Absolutely. So if that's a culture that you consent to and you're about that lifestyle, I think that should be respected. I think if a building doesn't want that in there, I think they should work on a way to come to a middle ground rather than just saying, no, none of you. No one. Especially because
No.
Metal and hardcore concerts are not the only places where people die. Very famously, on an extremely vibe shift of music, David Cassidy. If you remember from the early 60s, very flowery, soft music, person died at his concert. It not because of moshing, but if a person dies in your venue, it's a horrible tragedy. But do you blame the artist or do you blame the security guard throwing people back into the pit?
Yeah.
The article you sent is a very fascinating one because it also provides a bit of insight of the culture, throwing the microphone into the fans to sing the song. I like that. And you can but reading that, you can immediately think of what these higher up people at the venue are thinking of. They throwing microphones at people. What? If a fan is coming out and saying, no, we all agreed to this. This is what we signed up for. This is the experience we're giving you money for. Dog, it's free money. What are you doing? It's looking at people making decisions that it's costing themselves. Let them have fun. I don't throw them back into. Let them. It's chill. They just I don't like it either.
Yeah, I genuinely think those venue owners need to just sell and give it to somebody who has the proper mindset. People who were musicians themselves or were fans of, hardcore and punk. Funny story. Just a little antic I'm going to talk about. You know me. We've talked about it. I've toured the world. I've done the music thing. Hey, you laugh, but I can say that.
Yes, you did. No, I was doing the echo. I was like,
just hyping me up. Appreciate that. Thank you. So I've seen I've also worked for a lot of different musicians. I've seen a lot of different bands. I've seen a lot of different, genres of music, from country to hip hop to, rock, rap, everything in between. I went to a show with my sister in New York 2 days ago, and it was Bono from U2. He just
Oh,
did I was excited. He just wrote us like kind of a biography, an autobiography, and he was kind of it wasn't like a read through. It was very vague how they explained it, but it was like a he kind of explained it, talked about it, kind of reenacted it by himself with chairs representing people in his life. It was kind of weird, a little funky, but he would also sing songs at the different like parts of his life. So kind of like a timeline throughout it. Now I'm telling this story because this is the first time in my life I was surrounded by people that I was like, this is ridiculous. You are not being respectful to the person on stage. And it was in a like nice Broadway theater, or maybe off Broadway theater, but still like a very nice theater. And the tickets were, my sister got them. They were pretty expensive. It was like a, gift from her boss or something. So I was stoked to go. Like I wouldn't been able to afford it myself. But people were heckling Bono to a point where like somebody got up and told him to sing because he was talking about the first single he ever wrote. And they told him to sing it. Like he was like, sing it from the crowd. And this man goes, you're asking an Irish man not to be angry at you, but you're yelling at me to do something I don't want to do. You're lucky I'm not the old Bono. And then continued on. And then 5 minutes later, the man had the audacity to get up and sing to Bono in a moment of silence during his performance. I was shocked. I was like, how do you have, and you know what? I kind of came to the conclusion. People were so stuck in, the whole pandemic that they didn't realize that they're lucky to have these performances. They're lucky people want to do it. U2 doesn't want to tour anymore. They're going into Las Vegas residency for a while. They're like, you want to see us? Come to us. We don't want to do it. A lot of people are doing it. Adele is doing it. Maroon 5 is doing it. Bruno Mars is doing it. Britney Spears is doing it. Like, it's not just Barry Manilow anymore in Vegas, guys. Like, a lot of people are doing it because they realize in the pandemic, it's not worth it to travel. It's better to have these Vegas residencies because Vegas, literally these hotels put them up. They know they're going to get money consistently, and they're going to sell out these shows because of the fan.
Big top gets more clowns.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Clowns is non-derogatory.
Fair, but I don't like clowns. So,
but think about it. Think about it.
Love musicians as
think
clowns.
About it. Las Vegas.
You're right. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
They're clowns in a circus, man.
Yeah, it's true.
And you know what? I would pay to see. I'd go to Vegas to see Bruno Mars. If that's where Bruno Mars is, let's go.
Let's go.
We gotta go to Vegas. That's gotta happen.
Yeah. You're supposed to, but
I've two things that I want to see in Vegas. One, Bruno Mars. Two, the Saw escape room where they have live actors. I want to test their improv skills.
You're doing that alone.
Oh, absolutely. But I want to test their improv skills because I would just look at them as they're screaming or whatever, and I'm going, so what are you in for? I just want to have a ball.
I feel like they've had people deal with him like that.
Oh, yeah. But like,
it's more the jump scares you got to be prepared for.
I'm wearing the brown pants that day. You got to be ready.
Okay. Moving on. All right. We talked about this last week, but you and I argue this a lot. Okay. And I want to get your opinion on this. I don't know if you've seen this. I threw up some hoop names in the general chat like a couple days ago that I really liked. One of them that I really focused on, and one of them that I took time to write a logo and I put in the general chat, was one called the Hoop Hounds. Now, I don't know if chat. Yeah, there it is. That's my Hoop Hounds. I liked those. I thought it was cool. Nobody gave it attention, so I'm giving it attention on myself. You give me a platform, FCF, I'm going to use it in my favor. This right here, that's my logo, Hoop Hounds. I think it's a good one. A couple lists of names that I got. You can take it off, Jim. I appreciate it. I just wanted to bump my own stuff a little bit. Yeah, you're the best, Jim. I appreciate you. Thank you again. Some names I came up with. All right. because nobody liked my Grim Reapers ripoff. They're just like, it's gross because one dude made a really derogatory thing. Nike even used it. They had their like street team named the Rim Reapers, but hey, whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
All it takes is one dude.
Kanata was like, no. when Josh brought it up on the Fan Control show, Kanata was just straight up no. Just no. So these are my other names. Took some time, thought about it. The Sultans of Swish.
Ooh.
The Archangels.
Okay.
All right. The Hoop Hounds, as you saw.
Yeah.
The Block Brigade. The Court Kings. The Hoop Heroes. And then my favorite. And I think Freddie kind of helps me out on this. Somebody helps me out on this. But the Slam Squatch.
Ooh, Slam Squatch.
Yeah.
Oh, but what about Slamwich?
Slamwich, I think, is good.
Slamwich, that's a winner.
That's new. Yeah, I think that's good. BC Lion, just no on all of them. Just no. You don't like any of. If you don't like any of them, I don't know what to tell you because at least I got Hoop Hounds. But Archangels, people like that one. 2Z made a design that was cool. I like it. I'm gonna throw my own design in. Yeah. Stathead. Besides the unicorns, because I know you want the unicorns, you've been passionately.
Listen, they're coming for one of the leagues. All right, they're coming for one of them, and when you don't know when a unicorn's gonna strike, but they'll be there.
Give me some names. Yeah, bring them on.
First of all, Jesters. I don't care which sport. This is for both sports. These are my. Doesn't matter which sport FC Fan Controlled comes out with. Whatever Fan Controlled comes out with, these are the names. All right, Jesters, chicken hens, chickens, roosters. All right, ducks. We need a ducks. I'm gonna push hard for ducks. Like you could just do like a job title and then an animal, and I would think that'd be great. Dr. Duck. Anyway, look.
What about the Carpenter Capybaras?
Oh, see, you're getting it. You're getting it. Carpenter Capybaras. Let's go. In a heartbeat, I'm on that team. And I don't mean this as a fan. I'll try out for that team. I'm not athletic, but the Carpenter Capybaras, hell yeah.
All I can see is just a really chubby capybara with overalls, and he has like a ladder over his shoulder that he's just like barely holding on to. That's all I imagine.
He's got a hammer and a basketball.
A hammer and a basketball.
that's what he's got. The zippers, because we have the zappers, so we have to zip zap, and then whatever third sport they come out with next, then we go the zoppers, and that way we have zip zap zop. That's an improv joke. Anyway. Don't look at me like that.
Don't know how to feel about that.
Somewhere out there, a theater kid is exhaling out of their nose. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if you really want to succeed, you got to push as hard as you can to get a Dunkaroos team. And I mean, like the entire company Dunkaroos just has a team.
I just want them to be an advertiser. Like, you know how progressive is?
They need to be involved somehow. You gotta do it. And if it's a team, if it's an ad, if it's like a special dunk thing, I don't care. But
you're right. Like, maybe they have the Dunkaroo mascot come out and he like runs the field, and for like the next 10 seconds, dunks are double. Like
exactly.
The Dunkaroo double, you know?
The Dunkaroo double. See, I also do like Freddie. I do like Vampire Deer. Like
vampire. Next, you're gonna be wanting the Baniculas. Just vampire bunnies.
Vampire bunnies. Let's go. What you mean? Oh, rubber chickens is another good one. I want them to get like these names. The energy we need is backyard basketball. We need like melon head energy. We can't be doing. What do you mean? I know. I want like the pine cones. All right. I want the breakaway. I want the breakaway traffic cones or just the traffic cones. I want the traffic cones, and it's just a traffic cone. That's the mascot.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
get silly with it. I don't want no name. I want something dumb because that team's gonna dominate then, and everyone's gonna have to be like, well, how do we beat the Wobbly Woos? How do we do it? And that's a real sentence somebody will have to say.
You're a stone's throw from the good old, well-versed milk mommies that we're all used to.
Listen, all I'm saying is if I'm in charge, Milk Mommies makes it through. And that's why I'm not in charge.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna make it through.
No, it's
All
not.
right.
Don't put in Milk Mommies, folks. But like put in something simple that's safe for the kids. Like traffic
Maybe the
cones.
milkmen,
The milkmen.
The
Actually,
milkmen?
that would be
They
you could
deliver
do-
you dunks,
but also you could do the postmen.
That's what I was I said that before. Yeah, the Iceman
Oh,
would be good.
Icemen would be good. Icemen would be good. You could be really cheesy and do like the Blaze, like really go to EA generic team names like the Blaze.
I'm
The
sorry, but
Bees.
if there's a team called the Blaze, I'm gonna buy all of the merch just because for reasons. Anyway,
Isn't
we do
UAB's
this thing.
team the Blazers?
I think. I mean, I
Yeah.
think UIC is also called the Blaze. So I'm
Gotta
not.
buy their merch.
Yeah, it's good. So we do this thing. We have this tradition here on Don't Cause a Ruckus called Off the Top 3. Now, if you don't know what Off the Top 3 is, it's basically we each come up with a subject, don't know it beforehand. It's literally off the top of the head, and you have to give your top 3 of that subject. Now, I'll throw it out to you first, Kyle. And I'm gonna make it easy. Okay, it's really easy. If you could see 3 people beating Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, it doesn't matter the label. Let's say the forbidden door is open for once in a while in WWE. Anybody's on the mat. Who would you want to take the title away from Roman? Top 3.
I'm just assuming that this is well written. This is like a great storyline that we're gonna give them.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it's gonna be like if you use.
I have
we're
two.
Not,
I have a
we're not
genuine
using
answer.
WWE writers. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. I have a genuine answer. I have a fun answer, and I have an out of pocket answer. Those are my 3. All right. Out of pocket, Santino Marella. Why not? He just returned to the ring. What if? What if one WrestleMania he just shows up? He's the one that ends the streak. And then immediately Roman gets it back because but like what if for like a couple days Santino Marella is the one that ends Roman Reigns' long streak?
I'm gonna say no to that.
The fun one is Ricochet. I think that'd be a fun one. I think I just want him to do more flippy doos. Either Ricochet or Mustafa Ali. I think those guys are like pure athlete. Honestly, MJF would be a great, genuine answer. I think there's a lot of guys in AEW that I would love to see, and MJF would be. It would be hard because they're both really good heels, and we don't want Baby Roman back. But if there's just like this ultimate figure of disrespect versus this ultimate figure of like I'm in charge, that's kind of fun. Hangman Page too.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. I just want a cowboy. Bring in the cowboy.
See, yeah, I think Hangman Page would be a good one. I feel like he could be a modern day Stone Cold. MJF would be great personally. But I think it would be better to do Kenny Omega just because it's like the 2 top guys from both the companies.
Yeah.
And bring back the belt collector persona of Kenny Omega. Have him go through every label first, because like Roman Reigns has been put as like the guy in WWE. Nobody can beat him. Bring back the belt collector Kenny Omega where he goes to AAA, wins the heavyweight and like trios and like you know, like go nuts with it. Like have him do the trios with the Young Bucks.
Have him show
And
up
then-
with every belt.
Well, that's kind of what he did before. Like he went to IWGP, won the heavyweight. He went to AAA, won the heavyweight. He went to Impact, won the heavyweight. He went to AEW. AEW was the heavyweight championship and tag team championship. So he was literally coming out wearing a belt around his neck, 2 belts around his shoulder, a belt around his waist, and then his manager Don Callis was holding a belt. So I'm saying get back to that position and level for Kenny Omega and then have him show up to WWE with Roman Reigns and his 2 Universal ones and have them duke it out as like literally a battle of the 2 biggest heavyweights in all of wrestling. I think that would be amazing. Obviously, I'd want Kenny Omega to win, but I think you do a squash match where nobody wins. It's like, you know, the Usos come in, cheat. The Young Bucks come in, cheat. They both get disqualified. It doesn't matter. Then you keep going. That's a good one. All right. Kyle.
I'd like double count out. They just both knock each other out.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a great ending, too. Yeah.
Now I come
throw
up
the
with a
titles
topic
away.
for you.
Yeah. Now you have to come up with a topic for me and make 3.
Are Jedi's superheroes or clerics?
That's not how that works. You have to like be like, give me 3 of your favorite Jedi.
3 of your things. Got it. Okay. This is my first time, guys. I'm nervous.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
3. What are your 3 best like date
hard,
movies?
Right? It's hard to
Best
come up
date
with a
movies.
question though, right?
Top 3 best date movies. Like this is something that you're gonna show someone, and like it's it's like you know they're gonna like it. You just like, and it's gonna work for you.
Oh man, that's bad because like I don't have any. Yeah, that's not good. I probably would go. I'm more of a comedy guy. I go more comedy. Just you know, like the normal stereotypical thing to do would be like let's watch a horror movie. Yeah. I'm terrified of horror. I can't watch a horror movie to save my life, so that's out. Then you want to go, you know, romantic comedy. You want to get like the girl to show your emotional side, and like she's crying, she feels like, oh, I can't watch those either because I end up crying because I'm emotional, and then she's like, oh, I'm dating an emotional dude. He's too emotional. He's crying more than me. That's not okay. So I try to lean more towards like romantic comedies. Like give me like 50 First Dates. I don't know. 50 First Dates would probably be one. I usually try to get the girl to tell me like what they want.
Yeah, you fish for it a little bit.
Yeah, I fish for it and then try to lead it towards it. If she's like horror, I'm like, nah, I'm horrored out. Say something emotional, I'm like, I've seen that too many times. And it's like, all right. Princess Diaries, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably like pull out Super Troopers to like show her my like side of humor.
Yeah.
But maybe Muppets Take Over like New York, some dumb Muppet Treasure Island. There you go.
There you go. I would Princess Bride, easy. You got to do it. Shrek.
Princess Bride, that's a good one. Yeah. Shrek.
Got to do Shrek.
Really?
Got to do
with
Shrek.
The animation, the old bad animation.
Got to do Shrek. All right, because they're either going to be because their answer to the proposal, hey, want to watch Shrek, matters a lot. Because if the response I'm looking for is yes or no. Because if they don't want to, that's fine. But if they say what is that, that means they're either too young or too old for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Shrek fan. That's
and then
a good one.
Lord of the Rings, all of them, extended.
That's a commitment, though. Commitment, though.
That's third date. That's like, all right, if this is legit. If you want this, we're doing Lord of the Rings. And if you can commit to me for Lord of the Rings, then I think we're gonna work.
At that point, you're in a relationship, though. You might as well be saying, "Yeah, let's watch all the Marvel movies."
You know what's really funny about this
cinematic timeline order?
I've never had a traditional like 3-date thing before. I've just always gone right in. So like, I wouldn't even know.
I mean, okay. Well,
like, Why play games? If you're not here, I'm not here, you know? But if you want to be friends, I'm here, you know? Make friends with everyone and then date your friends.
All right.
Dating advice
Well-
with Fathead. Date your friends.
That's gonna be it for us today, guys. Thank you for coming in and watching the show. Like I said, Don't Cause a Ruckus is on every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Also available the next day on YouTube and podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Fan Controlled Sports. And with that, guys, you know, Jose usually has like a sign off, but I'm just gonna say peace out, guys. Have a good
Peace
one.
out. Keep it chill.
Keep it chill. Keep the ruckus to a minimum.